very insightful lessons. It made impact in the lives of the people that we targeted, and that called for this second phase. And I believe that as we are here to know the content, to know what this package looks like, it's going to be to the benefit of every one intended for this project. Ladies and gentlemen, it will be good to know who is here with us. We are a big team from diverse institutions, and it will be beautiful to know who and who is represented here. I'll start with the Plan International team. We have the leadership of Plan International Ghana, and ladies and gentlemen, I would want you to, I want to do it in such a way that we don't have to keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping. I want us to do it in rounds. All right. So with the first, we have Madam Josephine Edu Bediakon. She is the People and Culture Manager for Plan International Ghana. We have Mr. Kenneth Danuo. He is the Business Development Manager for Plan International Ghana. And then we have Madam Josephine Fiawonu, Sponsorship Manager for Plan. We also have Mr. Eric Ayaba. He is the head of program and influencing. Ladies and gentlemen, help me with a round of applause to appreciate the country leadership of Plan International Ghana. We also have staff of Plan. We have Mr. Suleimana Bana. He is a Northern Program Impact and Influencing Area Officer or Manager or Director. We have the project staff, we have the grants team, we have the supply chain team, well represented here. And as Plan International Ghana, they don't work alone. They work with other partner organizations. They work with civil society organizations. We have CONIWAS, the Coalition of NGOs in Water and Sanitation, represented here. We have Community Development Alliance. We have AdSen Consult. We also have CAPNet Ghana that supports the activities and the implementation of activities under Plan International Ghana. We have the Plan International German team, Mr. Johanna Gunkel. He's a program specialist. We also have Mr. Fahan Khalid. He is a compliance specialist from Germany, all in the name of Plan International Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to give them a round of applause. As a country, we have our political leadership that supports everything we do in terms of the jurisdictions that the various partners find themselves. We have the district chief executives for the beneficiary districts. The communities that are going to be worked on, they have their leadership, the political leadership of these communities. And we need this consent, or we need them to assent to whatever that we are doing as an international organization for the program or the project to be a success. We have the honorable DC for Wa East, His Honorable Adams Saibu. And then we also have Honorable Godfred Kofi from Guan. Let's do it better for them with a round of applause. You're welcome. We have media represented. We also have government. As and when our partners come in, we will acknowledge them duly. Ladies and gentlemen, the regions that are participating in this meeting or in this project, they are the Guan district in the Oti region. We also have the Wa East district in the Upper West region. We have the regional environmental health officers of these beneficiary regions in our midst. We have Madam Frida and Madam Cynthia. Let's give them a round of applause. It's such an honor to have you all, and it is Our joy that you all sit back, enjoy every bit of this program. Ladies and gentlemen, for every program that we hold, we need someone to chair the affairs of the program. And you all agree with me that we all can't sit on one chair. We need someone who can support and support beautifully. On this very special occasion, we can only choose one person. True or false? True or false? Okay. So if you would agree with me, we will have just one person who fits this chair. And he would need all our support to push this meeting from the beginning through to the very end. Ladies and gentlemen, our chairman is the member of parliament for Wa East constituency. That word. He is the member of parliament for Wa East constituency in the Upper West region. He was born on March 14th, 1977 in Jeri. He is a member of the National Democratic Congress Party. He holds a PhD in sustainability science back in 2016 and a BSc in agricultural economics way back in 2005. Before entering politics, he was a director and lecturer at the University for Development Studies. As MP, he serves on several committees including food, agriculture and cocoa affairs, environment, science and technology, as well as public accounts. Ladies and gentlemen, with a resounding round of applause, help me welcome Honorable Dr. Godfred Seidu Jasol. I said a resounding one. I said a resounding one. Honorable, please do us the honors by giving us your acceptance or otherwise speech.
Thank you. So I could just say I don't accept, and that will shorten everything. Acting Country Director, the plan team, my colleague politicians, the district chief executives that are here, stakeholders, development partners, our friends from the media, our international partners, ladies and gentlemen, particularly for our children. I do know that we've had some experiences as my district. I remember a story broke out some few years ago where there was a publication on sex for parts. I don't know how many of you are familiar with it, where some female students, pupils couldn't simply afford sanitary pads. And to that extent, they went for anything to be able to afford pads. At the same time, dropout rate was increasing. I'm sure you're familiar with the statistics because many of the schools do not have wash facilities where students and pupils can have their dignity intact. We had COVID, but for Plan and its previous activities and interventions in our country, I'm sure a lot would have been worse. However, all the literacy programs, all the WASH-related programs, all the interventions, particularly of the girl child, etc., that Plan has been associated with, are things that we can demonstrate that have been very impactful in our society. Today, we are very excited that there's a launch of a new project, which is actually incidentally phase 2, meaning that there's been a phase 1. Now, the phase 1, I believe phase 2 will amplify some of the successes of the phase 2 and see how we can then co-create, co-implement the phase 2 and its associated objectives. I feel excited about this phase 2 because of the approach you are using. It means that at the project inception, we are all part. The MPs, the DCs, and other stakeholders are part of the inception. And so you cannot sit and say, oh, it's planned people who are over there doing some projects. No, it is us doing some projects. And I particularly like this approach because of the possible sustainability gains. The fact that we are part of the project from inception means that we will be policing the project, we'll be supporting implementation, we'll be providing the appropriate environment to be able to get implementation successes, but we'll also be able to take up the impacts of these projects way after the project has left off. And so there's guarantee of sustainability. And so I'm particularly excited with this approach, and I want to urge you on. I want to hereby give our assurance that plan, you've done a good thing, we will amplify these successes, we are with you, we will support, provide the necessary political environment, we will help get you into the communities in ways that will let the impact be amplified enough. And so have our assurance that we are with you all through from inception to the end of project. I believe that we will make it so much so that there will be a phase 3. Having said this, I know time is far spent and it's a premium. Let me accept to be chair and invite AC back to take us through the items on the program. I'll sit back, hear everything, and then if I have remarks at the end, I'll come and give the remarks. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you very much, Honorable. The media team, there was this last bit that I wish you could add some more projection. You zoom that one for everyone to hear. Honorable said the ownership that this project has brought is worth commending, and then we will provide, I don't want to say we will provide all the political support and all the support that this project needs to be well carried out and well implemented. Thank you very much, Honorable, for that promise. And I believe that we are going to move it beyond this room and get it on the field, because phase 1 was amazing. And I believe you are going to have phase 3 because of the support that you are going to receive from both the government side, from the political side, and from every side that we need to be able to make this a success. Ladies and gentlemen, help me once again give Honorable Jasol a bigger round of applause for accepting to be the chair and already assuring us the project is a success. Thank you very much. All right, so in the beginning I asked that we should please call our colleagues into the room, and I'm sure the room is more filled than it used to be. At this moment, please help me with a round of applause to appreciate the Acting Country Director for Plan International Ghana, Mr. Frederick Tay Nobi. I didn't want you to miss it. I didn't want anyone to miss that introduction, because if you had stepped out by then, you wouldn't have seen Mr. Frederick Tay Nobi. Thank you very much, Country Director, for your presence. Ladies and gentlemen, we are proceeding with our agenda. We are all saying we are here for the Integrated Package for Sustainable Community Development Phase 2. And then we are launching this project. But what is the real purpose of our meeting here today? Do we know? It would be good to get it in a deeper version. we are going to call the head of programs and influencing Plan International Ghana, Mr. Eric Ayaba, to give us the welcome and the purpose of our meeting today.
Good morning. Good morning, and thank you very much. My job here is to give you the purpose of this gathering and also to welcome you. I will want to stand on the existing protocol as facilitated by AC to make a few comments as part of my welcoming message. So we have all heard that there was a phase 1 and there's going to be a kickoff meeting for phase 2. And so what actually led to the granting of the phase 2? Did we do a good job? Did we make impact? Did we collectively achieve the outcomes of the phase 1? I believe all of us will mention or will respond to yes to this, because there is no way that a phase 1 project unachieved can bring on board a phase 2. And I'm a strong believer of those who are beginning to agitate for phase 3. Why? Because I know for sure that as it was in phase 1, so shall it be in phase 2, and so will it bring along phase 3. So permit me to just give you that in phase 1, the project actually demonstrated a substantial measurable improvement in wash areas, school hygiene, community health, early childhood development. And by the end of October 2025, when we had finished the phase 1, the initiative had not only succeeded to achieve the end-line targets, but also generated transformational shift in behavior, community structures, and service delivery. These were critical achievements that we observed in phase 1. These achievements, such as the significant rise in household access to safe drinking water and improved sanitation, 100% availability of hand washing facilities in schools, major gains in health educational coverage, and strong influence of real fathers. I'm sure as we move along, you will come to understand what it means to be a real father. And then perhaps we may have a test to determine the fathers that are here, how many of us really qualify to be real fathers. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is on the strength of these strong results achieved together with our partners, including most of you who are gathered here, I can be sure to confirm that the only partners that we may not be having here are the 2 areas that really participated in the first phase of the program, namely Northeast region, especially the West Mamprisi municipality, and then the Jessica municipality. Otherwise, I wish to extend Plan International and its partner, Plan International Germany, congratulations to all of you for the work and the support that you provided in these laudable achievements that we made in phase 1. So, the next phase, for which reason we are here. So I'm sure as at this point we all know the reason we are here, is to launch and kickstart the second phase. And the reasons that we are here is aim to consolidate the gains made, expand the reach that we actually gained, and address the remaining gaps, and deepen the systemic change to ensure lasting improvement in the wash, health, education, and gender equality outcomes for children and vulnerable populations. So these are the specifics for which we are here to start the phase 2. To deepen our WASH outcomes, to deepen our health outcomes, to deepen our educational outcomes, as well as our gender equality outcomes for children and vulnerable people. All these achievements were made in phase 1. But for phase 2, we are here to deepen these ones with the support of all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, your presence here demonstrates the strong partnerships that we have all worked and built, and it is our hope as Plan International, Plan Germany, and all of us who are connected to this particular project one way or the other, that we are going to see the same level of commitment, we are going to see the same level of engagement. And I'm particularly happy hearing the chairperson for this particular occasion throwing the support of members of parliament, throwing the support of politicians, district assemblies, and all of us gathered here, that they are ready to provide their support both in leadership and in any other resources to be able to ensure that we make significant achievement even far better than what we made in phase 1. And for that reason, be able to unlock the opportunities that may exist in a phase 3. So on behalf of the country director and all Plan International team, as well as the project team in particular, who did a very hard work in phase 1 and are continuing to deliver this in phase 2 together with our partners, I wish to welcome all of you and wish you all the best as we kickstart IPADF phase 2 project today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Eric Ayaba. Just to reiterate that Plan International Ghana has been one of our partner organizations, or our development partners, that has taken inclusivity as a key pillar in whatever that they do. And it is just been evident in the diverse participants that we have represented in this room, from the government side, from the CSO side, from the media side, and it is worth commending. Mr. Chair, Honorable Chair, just to let you know that it has been like that for a long time, and phase 1 saw this same thing, and it is something that they were really patted on the back for. From Mr. Ayabe's welcome, there's some few things that I picked up, that if you are, let me liken it to marriage. If you are going into marriage, they'll ask you to go and bring your kinsmen. If they give their blessings to the marriage, they'll say, oh, this marriage is going to work. Honorable Jasso is here. The Honorable MC DCEs are here. The regions that the participation is going, the project is going to be implemented, they are also here. And having that high-level political support, I believe that the IPADF project phase 2 is going to be even better than phase 1, because we have received the blessings from our political leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give ourselves a round of applause, especially the welcome remarks that we just received from Mr. Ayaba. We are heading into what the project is going to look like. We've heard some welcome remarks. We've heard some insights from phase 1. We've heard a bit into phase 2, where we are deepening the outcomes in WASH, in health, in gender, and in education. And can we have a more deeper insight by taking the project overview from Mr. William Doma Piele? He is the project manager for IPADF. Mr. Doma Piele, over to you.
Thank you, AC. I also want to stand on the existing protocols as my senior mandate, Mr. Ayawa. Yes, so I think for the overview is going to be, this is just a kickoff. So we're just going to have a brief overview. Later on, when we are doing implementation, we are going to have more details as to what the project will be doing and then what we'll be achieving along the line. But for now, not much has changed from phase 1. We are still looking at issues of water, issues of sanitation, menstrual hygiene and hand hygiene, then livelihood empowerment activities, all targeted at ensuring that go to the goal. The goal of the project is to ensure that we are creating a resilient environment for children, both at home and at school, to ensure that their health is taken care of, their education improves as well. And we cannot do any of this without the various areas that we intend to look at. For the project, it started on paper, it started in October. We are in March. Some activities have been done, but this is the start of it. It's due to end in September of 2028. So we still have a long way to go, and we are sure that we'll get that support from the partners that we are having here today. Yes, so how are we going to achieve the goal that we have set for ourselves? We think that if we look at these 4 areas, if we are able to achieve this, that should feed into the goal that we have set for ourselves. So first, we want to increase access and utilization to safe drinking water, improve sanitation and hygiene to our targeted participants. So we're looking at direct participants of 14,766 people, most of who are vulnerable women and children. We're also looking to improve access and usage of basic wash facilities and services in schools by vulnerable children. At the school level, what do they lack? We are sure that if we are able to provide water, if we are able to provide latrine facilities, the children will have an environment that is good for them to learn and lead. And also improve access and usage of gender-responsive parenting and healthcare. This is one area that I think the head of programs highlighted on. We think that when parenting is properly done, there is a likelihood that the children are going to grow up in an environment that they are able to lead, they are very confident that they are protected or they feel protected. So gender responsive parenting is going to be one of the areas that we are going to tackle. And then also to improve livelihood opportunities, especially for women and girls in these communities. So we already mentioned the direct beneficiaries, 14,700 across the two districts. Indirect beneficiaries, approximately 28,000 across these areas as well. And intentionally, we are going to ensure that we are going to work with structures at the community level. We want to ensure that there's participation of women in whatever we do, because we believe that once women are involved in whatever you are doing, success definitely is going to come. So these are the 2 districts that we are looking at, Guan and then Wa East in the Upper West region and Guan in the Oti region. Yeah, so in Guan, maybe you will see we have 1 or 2 communities from Jazika in there, but this forms the Guan areas, the communities. Central Kofi, we have Lekile Bigbala, Agbozome, Koforidua, Bakwa, Adoko, Jolu, and Kayadan. These are the communities that we are going to be working in. And in as much as we'll be working in these communities, we're also looking at the secondary schools within the area. So Mate secondary school will be added to these communities that we have. For Wa East, we have Jumo, Tinebie, Konyaben, Yala 1 and 2, Belpong, and Chawale. And we have a special case in Zini, and that is why Zini has found its way there, because of the refugee situation that we have in that area. So we have brought it in to see how we can also support Zini to kind of benefit from some of the wash activities. And also we are sure that this can also help the refugees in that area to also have access to safe drinking water and improve sanitation as well. So what do we seek to do? What are we going to do to in these communities? When you look at the first objective, which was talking about access to safe drinking water, we are going to be constructing water facilities for all the 8 communities. In phase 1, we had constructions done, and then we had hand pumps, and then limited mechanized systems. The mechanized systems were sort of, it was using electricity. This time around, the change in phase 2 is that we are not going to use electricity, we are targeting solar. We want to come with solar this time, and in doing so, we had in phase 1, I think we tried a solar system in Buahine in Northeast. It worked, and it's still working, and we think that that is the way to go now, and we want to go into solar to ensure that the communities, whatever funds they are mobilizing in the use of the water, is directly being used by them and not being used to pay electricity bills. So we'll go more into solar, but then this is all also dependent on the yields of the wells that we drill. If you drill a borehole and the yield is not good, we cannot mechanize. So we are targeting to mechanize them, but in the event that we cannot mechanize, we'll provide a hand pump for the community. So we don't want to assure communities that we are coming to give you a mechanized facility using solar. We let you know that it is dependent on the yield when we drill. There are some areas you struggle to even find a good yield for mechanization. If you make a mistake and mechanize, you are only creating a problem for the community, because they keep buying pumps every day because the water is not reproducing. So that is what we're going to do. And in doing that, we are going to have trainings for WSMTs, people who are going to manage these facilities. We'll develop water safety plans to ensure that from the source of the water to the home where you are going to consume it, we have a safety line, a safety net, that you are ensuring that all water that you are drinking in the house is of good quality. Then we are going to ensure that we are monitoring the quality of the water on quarterly basis to make sure that the standards are being met. Then we are looking at the area of sanitation. We are happy to have environmental health here. They have been very supportive in whatever we do. We are going to work with local NGO partners to implement the CLTS approach in these 16 communities, which is targeted at creating demand for household latrine construction. And in doing so, we are going to have people who call natural leaders who are going to support us at the community level together with the NGO partners to trigger the communities. And then we are also always sure that in as much as we say that we want communities or households to construct their own toilets, but there's always that small percentage of people in the community who cannot afford at all. So we are going to, in a joint approach with the local NGO partner, the community, the environmental health and the social welfare, identify these vulnerable people, who we call the poorest of the poor, within those communities, and support them. They will get support, because at the end of the day, if everybody decides to construct a toilet and 1 or 2 people don't, then it's still the same problem. So vulnerable people will be supported at the community level to also own and use latrines. When you look at menstrual hygiene has become one of our priority areas as planned. We want to ensure that the dignity of girls is assured. We'll be constructing girl-friendly latrines in all the communities, at least one school in all of the communities that we're going to work in. We'll also be supporting the girls with reusable pads to ensure that they are properly managing their menses. And then we also train PTAs. We know that when these facilities are constructed for the schools, usually it is the responsibility of the PTAs to kind of support in ensuring that they are properly maintained and sustained. So PTAs will be trained to manage wash facilities. And then at the school level, we have children that are also going to be identified as ambassadors to kind of do peer-to-peer engagements to ensure that there's understanding or proper understanding of menstrual hygiene and how to manage it as well. Well, we'll be providing hand washing stations in the schools, in health centers, and then other key public areas to ensure that hand hygiene is maintained. We know that in most of our OPD cases, issues of sanitation and water are paramount. And when you have children, especially practicing hand washing at an early age, it helps them to develop the habit of washing hands as they grow. So this will be done. And we're also going to work with the school health clubs to promote hand washing at the school levels and also at the home when they close. Yeah, so the school health class will be having activities that they will be carrying out, and we are going to support them to do that as well. The Real Fathers Club. So this is an approach that we think that has gained a lot of grounds in the past months and years, and we think that is an approach that we are going to continue. These are responsible, engaging, and loving fathers. We think that they are able to make sure that at the community level there's redistribution of unpaid care work, where women are washing, they are bathing children, they are sweeping, they are fetching water, carrying the children to the hospital or school, and then the man is lying under a tree relaxing. This unpaid care work is going to be shared and by the fathers, and just to ensure that the women also have free time to do other things for themselves and also take care of other priorities. And then when we believe that when we do that, there's always a bond between the father and especially the daughter, and the daughters are able to open themselves to the father, because they are most times they are unable to talk to them because growing up, there's no that bond between the father and the son or the mother or the daughter. But when we implement this and the fathers are beginning to get closer to them, they are able to relate with them, they are able to protect them, and issues of gender-based violence are taken care of. There's that kind of love between daughter especially and father, and then issues that come out with the child, she's able to talk to the father openly. We promote that, and then positive health and wash behaviors are also going to be promoted. And then we'll work with the government. AC is here. We do a lot of collaborations and trying to let them understand our approach, our programming, and what we can contribute at the national level. And I think that in phase 1, we had the opportunity to have them in the field. The ministry was in the field to see what we do. And I think it was a good exercise, and this is something that we are going to continue with. We are going to work with CONEWAS, who will be looking at engagements with the Parliamentary Select Committee. We already started something on reusable parts standardization, which we were able to achieve. We are going to continue in that front to see how far we can go with it as well. Then VSLS, this is an anthem for us always. It has become part and parcel of our programming, and not only in WASH, but in other areas as well. This is something that we're going to continue, and we make sure that usually once we do it, there are women that especially who are interested and they are able to make savings which they later on take, and they are able to use it for other purposes in the community. Then we are going to establish a hand pump ecosystem. This is also one of our new initiatives where we have a spare part bank in each of the locations, because we realize that in most of the communities we have broken down boreholes which are not attended to, because most of the communities don't even know what is wrong with the borehole. They don't know who to contact to come and work on it. Under this activity, we are going to have a platform where a spare part bank is created at the regional district capital. We are going to have area mechanics trained. We are going to have the bank and the area mechanics and the disensemble all on the same platform, so that when you have a broken down facility, you are able to use a platform to ask for help. Somebody comes, look at your problem, give you the part that is missing. And usually, previously, you go, somebody looks at it and tell you that, oh, this is a part. It can be 50 cedis, but they'll tell you that maybe it's 500 Ghana cedis. You don't know. We are going to create a platform which is accountable, where all the parts are listed, the various prices are indicated, and nobody can be cheated. So you only end up paying for the person's workmanship. Previously, they'll cheat you, but you still even celebrate them because you may cook for them for coming to help you. Meanwhile, they have even cheated you on top. So this will take care of that as well. So all these activities we have labeled, we are not going to work alone. We are going to work with partners. We are going to, GES is going to be part of our activities. CWSA is going to be there to ensure that our water facilities meet the standards or national standards. The ministry represented here, we are going to work with them. We usually work with the Ghana WASH Journalists Network. They are also represented here. Koniwas always with us. ASEN Consult is going to be our NGO partner in the south, in Guan. They will be working with us. CDA, Community Development Alliance, will work with us in the Wa East. Ghana Health Service will be there, and then the community members are also going to be there. So we won't be working alone. We are going to work with all these people to achieve our goal. So we are going to make sure that as we are beginning, we are going to identify gender-related differences resulting in inequalities and see how we can address them. We will not be doing that alone. We'll be doing that with our partners as well. We are going to be inclusive, and I think AC mentioned that we are not going to leave anybody behind. We are going to make sure that everybody is on board. We have a budget, and we are going to make, I've seen our finance people here. We are going to make sure that our burn rate is in accordance with our work plans. We are going to work with the media who are here, and to make sure that whatever we are doing is visible for the communities, for our donors to see. And as a team, we will ensure that all this is achieved and fixed. Thank you for listening.
I wish it was possible to open up for questions, clarifications. Because I'm sure Honorable Dr. Jasol is very much interested in the Real Fathers Club. Yes, I saw the interest. I perceived it. Because I'm sure he would want to know. William, this one is a humble appeal.
Yeah, but you are an expert.
Today I'm your facilitator.
Yeah, so you are the honors.
Okay, Honorable, this one I'll give you a special one-on-one session when we are done to take you through the Real Fathers Club. Yes, for me to share the experience of one man telling me that when he helps the wife to undertake the wash activities at home, when he helps the wife to go get water, when he helps the wife to take care of the kids while she's cooking. In the evening, he smiles a lot. Please stop pulling the chair. Nobody didn't hear that part. In the evening, the man said he smiles a lot. He said, Madam, you don't know the joy I get when I help my wife during the day. Yes. So, Honorable, I'll give you the full details when we are done. Thank you very much, William. And I'm sure most of us have seen that the phase 2 is not too different from phase 1. However, things are going to be deepened. It's going to be more intense, because I saw a lot of lessons learned from phase 1 that are being undertaken in phase 2. The solar-powered facilities, the climate-resilient solar-powered facilities fascinated me, because you go to the communities and they tell you that we can't pay 20 pesos to fetch water. And you ask why? And then they tell you that we don't even have what to eat to go and pay 20 pesos for water. But you look at them and sometimes they are even holding mobile phones. And you ask them how they are able to afford the data and the airtime for their phones. They say, oh, madam, as for that one, we buy you. What about water? Water is life. Water is dignity. Water is everything. So why can't you afford that? So if you are making the burden lighter by constructing solar-powered ones, Plan International Ghana, thank you very much. Acting Director in your team and Acting Country Director in your team, thank you so much for taking the key lessons from phase 1 and making things better in phase 2. Ladies and gentlemen, we've taken in a lot. We've had quite some revealing and interesting presentations for the very first part. And during William's presentation, he mentioned that the government partners have been very, very active in this project. And just to admit that, indeed, the Ministry of Education, Ghana Education Service has been supportive. And at this moment, we have Madam Ellen Jechi in our midst. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to her. We have the reps from the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs in the persons of Mr. Gilbert Afa and Mr. Jonathan Akwabin Menu. You're welcome. All right. By our program, we are supposed to have our snack break. It is a time for us to interact. It's a time for us to network. It's a time for us to share a word with someone. Maybe you have been to one of the communities that the implementation has taken place. Share a key lesson with someone. Share a word with someone. If you haven't been to any of the communities, what are your expectations in terms of the person's participation here? The person has heard something. What has the person got to share with you? What motivation? What do you think that person can do to be able to support the project? That is the time we have now. A short break. We have 20-minute snack break. And the snack is just right in this room to my right by the curtains. Please let's grab something, share a word with someone, network, so we can be able to okay, everybody is surprised. We have, yes, hello, Honorable.
Unfortunately for you, as chair, I have some privileges.
Okay. Okay, I think there's even an item before the snack break, so. Okay, so the snack, I saw people staring at the snack, so they began distracting me. So maybe it was wrong they brought the snacks inside. We should have had the snack downstairs. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we have one presentation from our donor compliance officer, Madam Johanna. Yeah, Gonkel. They said the E is silent, not Gonkel, but Gonkel. All right, so it's time for the GNO program specialist to give us a presentation on donor compliance when it comes to the project. IT team, over to you.
Thank you, Essie. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, government partners, NGO partners, colleagues, friends. Let me start by saying that it's truly a great honor for me and also my colleague Farhan Khalid, who I will invite in just a few minutes, to be here in Ghana, to be here with you, and also being here for the project launch of the Phase 2 project. So first of all, when we arrived here last week, I think the first thing that we realized, apart from it being very warm here compared to Germany, is that everybody was just so welcoming. So I just wanted to extend a huge thank you for being so open and welcoming to us here. So the purpose of my presentation is to also explain to you a little bit of how the donor landscape and also the reporting that we have in Germany is, and how this project that is being implemented in the Phase 2 is funded. So let me start by explaining a little bit of what the German National Office of Plan International is, what it looks like, where we are based. So on the map you see that we have two locations in Germany, one of them in Hamburg and the other one in Berlin, but the big one is in Hamburg. So both pictures that you can see here is our office where we are based and do our everyday job in Hamburg. And we, next slide, have more than 300 people working for Plan International in Germany. I just brought this organizational chart. No need to really look into everything. I just wanted to explain to you which other departments we work with to mobilize funds also for this project and other private donor-funded projects. So what you see in pink is the International Cooperation Department or Programs Department. This is the department where Farhan and I work, and we work closely with all the country offices from Plan International to facilitate projects, to acquire public and private donor funds. And then within the International Cooperation Department, we also have the private donor team, which truly only works on private donor-funded projects, and I'm part of that team. And all the fields that you see marked in yellow, these are our focal points when it comes to the private donors. So we work with the foundation, we work with marketing and fundraising, and then we also work with business cooperation. Next slide. Yes, and so this is how it works. We get the funds from the private donors, marketing, businesses, and foundation. And then what we have to do in return is sharing reports, sharing videos, sharing photos, case studies, and also being open and accountable when it comes to what we have truly achieved in the projects. So this is like a circle. We always report to them in order to mobilize the funds that we then need for the projects. Yes, and this is also the case for our project. It's the IPADEF 2. In our system it's called GHA 100-295. So let's just say the IPADEF 2 project. That's also funded from marketing. Marketing makes up more than half of the funds for this project, so it's very important that we have those two different streams, which is general donations. So this is just the general public in Germany who contribute smaller amounts, and then Gifts for Life. I'll explain that in just a bit. It's also a mechanism to receive funds from individuals all over Germany. Then we work with the Plan Germany Foundation. You also see their logo there. So this is a foundation that by itself gets funds from a lot of different smaller foundations also within Germany. And then finally we have the business corporation, so that's a lot of different businesses that we work with and that also through our business corporation department give funds to us. So what you can see from the slide is that we really have like a diverse donor landscape, especially also within the private donor funds. So that means that there's a lot of different reporting that we also do. Yeah, maybe that's better. So a lot of different reporting that we do, and then also different interests. So foundations ask us different questions than individuals. So that's also what we need to filter. We need to make sure from the project the information that are being filtered through us are shared with the different departments. Yes, and I promise that I will explain to you the mechanism of Gifts for Life. So that is actually one thing that we use a lot at GNO. to get funds from individuals, and that a gift for life can basically be anything within a project. It can be an object, it can be sometimes an animal, it can be a training. So for our IPADEV 2, we have the examples that we have one like training for real fathers clubs, or we have the hand washing stations and the sanitary pads. And then this is put like it is on the picture on our website, and then like an individual can just click on our website and then purchase one Real Fathers Club training, let's say like that, and then this money goes directly into our project. So that's also like a funding mechanism that we at GNO use a lot. Okay, I talked a lot about the reporting that we have to do to the private donors, and that also means that we first need to get all the reports from our Plan Ghana colleagues, and the Plan Ghana colleagues, they receive the reporting and information from the implementing partners. So that is how the chain works. We're all connected, we all are reporting and accountable to each other, and then this is just whenever, I guess sometimes the project team also has a question to you, the partners, sometimes it might also come all the way from the donor, and then it's just channeled through us. I'm going to keep that one brief. I just want to share an overview of what kind of reporting do we receive. So in addition to the monthly calls that we have with the team, we also receive narrative reports. That's just like one page of it, but usually those reports are about 40 to 50 pages long, with a lot of information on everything that has happened in the last 6 months of the implementation. And then it includes also modifications, it includes challenges that you were facing. It includes the number of project participants that that participated in specific activities, and all these information we need, and then we also filter and have it in like a shorter report that we then share with the donors. And also these reports include photos, case studies, videos, and also M&E framework. So we want to see how we are in like the indicators, what is actually the development that we have done in those reporting periods. And along with the narrative reports, we also always get financial reports with vouchers, with invoice lists, with cash flow updates. So that's just something that we really need to also be accountable to the donor on our end. We also receive interim and final audits. That's also very important for us to be accountable again to the donor. And along with that, we also receive M&E reports, so baseline, midterm, and end line or end evaluations, and that is just also very important. And I mean, we spoke a lot about the phase 1 project, so in those evaluations we also got all those learnings from the phase 1 project, and these are also at GNO level being taken into account, and we really need that also to be accountable to the donor again, and knowing what the impact is so that we can actually also get those funds and advertise for the project and also the need for the project. And then just briefly, so the photos, videos, and case studies, they are very crucial, especially for private donor-funded projects, because as I said, it's individuals that fund the projects most of the time, and those individuals, they often don't understand what is going on in the ground. They need to have it visualized, so then it's easier for them to really understand what we're doing. So that's also something that we require from the project teams, and we're always very, very appreciative of having good photos and case studies that we can share with the donors. Yeah, and that's basically what I think I covered a little bit, is all the reporting that we receive that goes to Fan and myself and our colleague at GNO, who we're working with as the GNO project team, and then we filter it through our communications team, through business, corporation, marketing, and the foundations to really make sure that each donor receives the information that is important for that specific donor. So that's how we work, and that's how we also use the information that we receive from the teams on the ground. And that is the last slide that I have, just to show you how the reports then look on our end. So that's what we make of those 40, 50 pages long documents. It's usually shorter reports, but those are really like made for receiving the funds, acquiring the funds, and they include the most important things for each of the reporting periods. That would be everything from my side, but I will now hand over to my colleague Farhan Khalid to talk a little bit more about the general donor landscape in Germany. So thank you all for listening, and I will now hand over to Farhan.
So thank you everyone for having us over here. So basically I am the compliance specialist for GNO, and I will be highlighting how the donor landscape has been changing for the past 2 years, how the big pool has shrunk up, and what new donors expect out of it. So previously it was much more purpose-based donor financing, but now the landscape in Germany is specifically shifting towards finance-based financing. And by that I mean that the donors, they basically adhere to stricter compliance rules. They want that the donor rules are agreed to, are really worked upon. The second most important thing about that is they want clear defined outcomes. And that means the agreement and the contracts which we make with them, they really want that they are implemented. And this is the first phase of that's going on at the moment, but in the second phase, the only funding stream would be if the first phase has been good about that. So that is what we are focusing on, the innovative financing at German level as well, and we are focusing on result-based financing to go ahead in the future. Now, if I come down to how we are working at GNO compliance, so we work with the GNO compliance policies that are in line with the Global Hub policies. We focus strongly on the financial reports, and not just the financial reports, the accurate financial reports with the SAP lists that are in line with all of the text that's explanatory itself. We also require some supporting documents, but as GNO, the German National Office does not have a policy to get all of the supporting documents with the financial reports, but at any time we can request those supporting documents, which might be from the partners or from Plan Ghana. So what we adhere to is that we request Plan Ghana to keep all of the supporting documents 5 years until after the end of the project. So once the project starts, that's not when your date starts, but once the project ends, after that the 5 years, we accept you keep the supporting documents. It's not just only for us, we don't want to review it on our end only, but we have our internal audits. So for that, we have to be compliant with German laws as well. Another strong focus of our way forward is on the timely updates without delays. So we have smooth execution of the project. And personally, we don't want any disallowed costs for this project, because Plan Ghana for us is a very sacred and a very special country office. We really enjoy at Germany working with Plan Ghana. So we really want to build up long-term relations, and as most of the colleagues discussed, this is the phase 2. We really look forward to phase 3 as well. So let's hope for the best. The last 2 points which I would like to highlight is that during the project cycle, we focus on interim audits, which are usually internal, but the final audit once the project ends is usually external. And by that I mean that it's done through the big 4, KPMG, EY, Deloitte, or PwC. We at Plan Germany also look forward to the external audits, and that is just because during the project cycle, if we see that there are some red flags, so we know how to deal with them in the upcoming future. For instance, in phase 1, what we saw, we want to work on those learnings in phase 2, so that is pretty important to us. So let's all hope for a better phase 2, and good luck to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Fahad and Joanna. It is not only Ghana. Plan International, it's an international organization, and Plan Ghana has a responsibility to meet in Germany. And I believe that we will all give them the needed support for them to be able to excel at this project so that we can see a phase 3 of the IPADEV project after 2028. All right. Thank you so much. I would like to use this opportunity to specially welcome or appreciate the presence of Mr. Patrick Apoya. Mr. Patrick Apoya. He is a very, very, very important personality within the watch space. And I'm sure that Plan International Ghana has enjoyed beautiful support from this amazing man. Thank you, Mr. Apoya, for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, those who are spying the snack, it is time for us to break. It's time for us to break. You see, we have 20 minutes for snack break. What, 10 minutes? Okay, that's nice. So we can still keep to our time and even do better with the time. Please, as you are going on snack break, share the link. We are streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at Plan International Ghana, and we look forward to our friends seeing what we are doing here in this room at Monarch Hotel, East Legon, Accra. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 10 minutes. Chair winked and said 10 minutes. He has vetoed that we have 10 minutes to go for snack and then come back to continue the session. We can save a whooping 1 hour if we do that. Ladies and gentlemen, please, time for snack beside the curtains right in this room. Thank you. Please, we have the washroom downstairs. The washroom is downstairs. Please grab something. The clock is ticking. At 5 minutes past 11, we are all supposed to get project to see its successes that we are looking forward to. Ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, help me welcome the Executive Secretary of CONEWAS, Madame Basilia Nanbigni, to give us her solidarity message. We are going to do it in this order. After CONEWAS, we are going to take from the district chief executives that are present from Wa East and then from Guan district. Then we move on to Ghana Education Service SHEP to give us their solidarity messages. Madam Basilia.
Thank you very much, AC. Honorable Chair, our acting country director, all protocol observed. CONEWAS is once again happy to start a beautiful journey with Plan International Ghana. We have always been part of these journeys, and we were part of the phase 1. And we are happy to be associated with the successes of phase 1. This morning, what we've been hearing is deepening phase 2, deepening phase 2. We are happy to be part of this deepening, and as a coalition with Plan as a member, we've always been supportive of the work Plan does, because there is no project that they undertake that there is no success. And we especially are very proud to be part of that particular call that the whole sector had been calling on to standardize reusable menstrual hygiene materials, which we undertook with Plan. And for 5 years, we kept pushing until now we have standards for reusable pads. So there is nothing that Plan starts with partners that there is no achievement. And we are happy to be part of this journey again, and we know that definitely together we will achieve more. We will definitely support this project and our platforms, the MOLI platform, our engagement with the Parliamentary Select Committee as we've been doing, and other engagements. We would use these platforms to support the achievement of this project. So we commit to it, and we want to thank everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, CONEWAS, for committing to that. Just to remind ourselves that we are streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at Plan International Ghana. This is the Integrated Package for Sustainable Community Development Phase 2 project launch at the Monarch Hotel on this day, 3rd of March 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, help me welcome Honorable Adams Saibu, District Chief Executive, Wa East.
Honorable Chairman, permit me to equally stand on the existing protocols and deliver my solidarity message on behalf of the Wa East District Assembly. It is a great pleasure to be part of today's startup meeting of the Integrated Package for Sustainable Community Development Phase 2. The Wa East District is truly pleased to join hands with Plan International in this laudable endeavor that promotes and protects the right of children, young people, and the community. Our collective resolve is to advocate for the girl-child's equality, and the core objective of this project lies at the very core of our mandate as an assembly. The contributions of Plan International to the development of the Wa East District are very visible. Your long presence has resulted in numerous interventions in the education sector, community development, and more especially, child protections and welfare. We are fortunate to have you come again with another critical and innovative intervention in the wash sector. This project goes beyond just upgrading infrastructure. It is about transforming homes and schools into robust and protective environments. Together we have the power not only to improve health, but also make learning more enjoyable for our children, with a special focus on our girl child, who through education can become the leaders of tomorrow. As this meeting seeks to bring together world stakeholders, disseminate crucial information about phase 2 of the project, and thus gather invaluable support, partnership, its success largely depends on our united efforts, directions, and leadership. This is very important if the project goals are to be achieved. We at the Wa East District Assembly are happy and willing to do just that. Interestingly, this is consistent with the priorities of His Excellency John Dramani Mohammed's administration and the reset agenda, where every effort to ensure universal access to water and sanitation, sustainable water management, hygiene promotion, community participation, gender equality, and financial sustainability is welcome. On this note, I take the opportunity on behalf of the Wa East District Assembly to pledge our commitment and support to the project, our readiness and dedication, as well as our leadership that will be instrumental in achieving our shared objectives. As we set forth on this journey together, let us create an environment of cooperation, mutual understanding. Our joint wisdom, directions will greatly help in finding new and effective ways to address the world's issues within our communities. Thank you for your commitment and continuous efforts towards the upliftment of our communities. Let us join hands for a better and more just society. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Let us join hands for a better and just society. That was the Honorable District Chief Executive for Wa East District Assembly, Honorable Adams Saibu. We call on Honorable Godfred Koku Kofi, the District Chief Executive for Guan District. Please let's do it better.
Thank you very much. Honorable Chairman, Rep of Local Government and Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, distinguished representatives of Plan International Traditional Authority, Head of Department, Development Partners, community leaders, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor for me as a District Chief Executive of Guan to join you this morning at the startup meeting for phase 2 of the integrated package for sustainable community development projects. First and foremost, I wish to express my profound appreciation to Plan International for your unwavering commitment to improving the life of children, young people, and vulnerable communities. Founded in 1937, your dedication to promoting the rights of children and championing equality for girls for over 80 years strongly align with the development vision of our district and broader national agenda. Sustainable community development is not merely about infrastructure, it is about improving people, strengthening system, and creating opportunity that will outlive the project itself. Phase 2 of this initiative presents the renewed opportunity to deepen impact, expand inclusion, and consolidate the gain made under Phase 1. As a District Assembly of Guan, we recognize that invested in children and young people is invested in the future of Guan. When we empower girls through education, skill training, protection, and leadership opportunity, we are building resilient families and strong opportunities for the communities. I assure you of the full support and collaboration of Guan District Assembly. We are committed to, one, provide the necessary institutional backing, enhancing coordination among departments, ensuring transparency and accountability of any project that will come into our area, and promote community ownership for sustainability. Let me also call on our community leaders, especially in Guan District, the stakeholders, to actively participate in the project development. In most effective when it is inclusive, participatory, and locally driven. Together, the Guan District Assembly will participate with Plan International through partnership dialogues and sharing responsibility. We can achieve meaningful and lasting transformation for our children and community. On behalf of the Guan District Assembly, I extend our solidarity to Plan International and all implementing partners as we embark on this important Phase 2 journey. May our collective effort bring hope, opportunity, and sustainable progress to every child and every community in Guam. We thank you for your support. We thank you for all that you are doing for our mother, Ghana. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable, for those pledges and those commitments that you have made to ensuring that the Phase 2 is achievable and also going to be a success in the Guan District. Thank you so much. On this note, the target has largely been on school children, children of school-going age, and it is prudent for us, with a round of applause, to welcome Madam Ellen Jechi, the Programs Officer for School Health at the Ghana Education Service. Please let's give her a round of applause. We all call her Nkran Mami.
Thank you. Thank you, EC. Honorable Chair, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed, good morning. I bring you greetings from the Ghana Education Service and the Director of School Health Education Program Unit. She would have loved to be here at this launch, but an equally important assignment has taken us her out of office and has therefore delegated me to speak on her behalf. We are happy to be associated with the launch of the Phase 2 of the program. And as we all know, our school children are the major beneficiaries. And we are happy for the collaboration with Plan Ghana. Traveling around the schools, I see a lot of footprints of Plan Ghana in a form of wash facilities. Plan Ghana gives us separate toilets for boys and girls. That of the girls has the changing room, which makes menstruating girls comfortable to be in school and change during their menses. The facilities also have the disability-friendly rails and ramp to enable our learners with special needs also access the facilities, and it also caters for our younger children. Plan, thank you for the support and the hygiene education which goes on in the schools. We will not forget the support in the area of menstrual health and hygiene management for our vulnerable girls. And we hope that the phase 2 will continue with all these activities. We therefore pledge our support and commitment. You know, working in education is so easy. We have the national office, our regional offices, our district offices, and our schools. So it's so easy to work with us. Our doors are open, and we welcome you anytime you need us. On behalf of the Director of Education, I wish us well, and I wish to conclude by saying that all these interventions have contributed to improved health, school retention, and transition to tertiary institutions. Without these supports, I think some of our learners, especially our girls, might even drop out of school. On this note, we wish you well, and we are solidly behind you from national, regional, district, and school levels. We are with you wherever you go. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
I think with the burden that Auntie Ellen carries from the national level to all the schools that are within the country, please let's give her another round of applause, because it's not easy dealing with all the SHEP coordinators, all the school children, all the circuit supervisors and others when it comes to WASH. Auntie Ellen, thank you so much, and thanks for the pledge and the support for this project. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how many of us have the hard copy of the program. No, we are going green. We want to protect the environment. All right. At this point, I want to disassociate myself from being a facilitator to giving you a statement from the Ministry of Local Government. I was hoping and praying hard that I wouldn't do this, but there's no other choice, no other option than for me to do it. At this moment, I just want to say that I am from the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, a Deputy Director at the Environmental Health and Sanitation Directorate of the Ministry. And I am welcoming all of you on behalf of the Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. But my statement is being delivered on behalf of the Acting Director, Environmental Health and Sanitation Directorate, Mr. Samson Akwete. Okay, Chair, I'm permitted, right? Thank you very much. The Acting Country Director, Plan International Ghana, Honorable Chair, District Chief Executives present, Development Partners, Executive Secretary for CONIWAS, reps from Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Madam Ellen from GES SHEP, all national WASH stakeholders present, all regional environmental health officers present, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Good morning. Great. On behalf of the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, and the Environmental Health and Sanitation Directorate, I am honored to join you today. We gather not just to start a new project, but to build upon a proven foundation of transformation. Just a few months ago, we celebrated the closure of the first phase of the Integrated Package for Sustainable Community Development, IPADEV. Our monitoring team witnessed first-hand and impact in the OT and Northeast regions. We saw communities like Kwensim and Kechi Nkwanta taking ownership of their health. Real Fathers Clubs promoting equality within the households. Village savings and loans empowering women to finance their own sanitation needs. Dignity in education. Girls managing menstruation without interrupting their schooling. The evidence from phase 1 compelled a clear recommendation. This integrated model of WASH, gender transformation, and economic empowerment must be replicated. Today, we launch IPADEV phase 2. The phase aims to create resilient and protective environments in homes and schools across the OT and Upper West regions. Our goal remains clear: improved health and enhanced outcomes with a fierce focus on empowering girls. While we celebrate this new chapter, we must remember the guideposts discovered during our previous monitoring. We must prioritize the long-term maintenance of water facilities. We must ensure consistent hand washing and proper solid waste management become permanent. We call on municipal district assemblies to enforce sanitation bylaws and sustain the innovations we piloted, such as spare parts banks. To Plan International Ghana, we thank you for your unwavering commitment and innovative spirit. The ministry, through the Environmental Health and Sanitation Directorate, stands ready to provide the technical expertise and support necessary to ensure this scale-up is a resounding success. Let us use this startup meeting as a springboard. Let us work together to ensure that the health, dignity, and prosperity we foster today endures for generations to come. Thank you very much, and we are solidly behind Plan International Ghana. Thank you. That one was for my acting director. That clap was for him, and it was so weak. I would ask for one for myself. Thank you very much for your audience. Ladies and gentlemen, we are gradually coming to the end of the program. And just to remind us, those of us who are yet to inform others, we are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube on Plan International handles. Facebook and YouTube, please inform your friends and share with your colleagues. We are going to take an address by the country director. The acting country director, Mr. Fred Tay Nobi. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you, AC. Honorable Chairman and the MP for Wa East, members of Parliament, Honorable DCE here present for Wa East and Guam, our colleagues from Germany, our partners, both development and government partners, from the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Local Government. Plan International staff, our friends from the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor to stand before you today as we officially launch the second phase of our water sanitation and hygiene wash project. This gathering follows the successful completion of phase 1 in December 2025. And I remember most of us were in this same room. A milestone we are all proud of. Today, we embark on another important journey together, strengthened by partnership, shared value, and a common vision. Plan International Ghana implements integrated WASH intervention aimed at reducing child mobility and mortality while improving overall community well-being. Our work focuses on increasing equitable access to safe drinking water, improved sanitation, and sustainable hygiene practices, with particular attention to children, adolescent girls, and vulnerable population. Honorable Chair, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, access to improved water, sanitation, and hygiene services is not only a health issue, it is a matter of dignity, it's a matter of equality, and a matter of empowerment. Plan International Ghana family believes that improved WASH services promote the empowerment of girls and women by enhancing their dignity and strengthening their position within the community. And as we know, when WASH facilities are inadequate, it is the girls and the women that bears the greatest burden. In 2023, report by the Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources, only 25% of Ghanaians had access to basic sanitation. Approximately 56% relied on shared latrines. 1% used unimproved facilities, and 18% practiced open defecation. Additionally, 3 out of 4 households were at risk of consuming contaminated water, largely due to poor sanitation and hygiene practices. Nearly 90% of those practicing open defecation come from the poorest household. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, over the past 3 years, Plan International Ghana implemented the first phase of the integrated package for sanitation development project in the Jasika municipality and the Oti. In the Jasika municipality of the Oti region and the West Momprisi municipality of the Northeast region. The project aimed to create resilient and proactive environmental at home and in schools to improve health and learning outcomes to children, especially youth, through equitable access to quality WASH sanitation. I am proud to say that we made significant progress, demonstrating strong performance across all water sanitation and hand hygiene indicators. Today, we gather to launch the second phase of the transformative WASH project, which improved the lives of 14,766 people in 16 communities across the Gwa and East districts of the Oti and Upper West regions, respectively. The initiative will increase access to safe drinking water, sanitation, and hygiene services, with a strong focus on vulnerable girls and women, creating protective environments where they can thrive. With a budget of €1,360,000, phase 2 will run for 32 months and will enhance learning outcomes, particularly for adolescent girls. In addition, we will promote gender-responsive parenting and strengthen healthcare services to support early childhood care development. Beyond health and education, this project will create economic empowerment opportunities to young women, ensuring a sustainable and lasting impact. Plan International works in close partnership with communities, schools, civil society, the government to deliver sustainable WASH outcomes, School WASH remains central to our strategy. Our intervention goes beyond infrastructure to include creating of a safe, dignified learning environment for adolescent girls. These efforts are complemented by large-scale capacity building and behavioral change initiatives targeting pupils, teachers, PTAs, and school management committees. Gender equality is systematically integrated across our WASH program. We address the root causes of gender inequality in WASH services delivery and ensure exclusive participation at all levels. Menstrual hygiene management remains a core priority. By providing education and access to essential products, we support girls' retention in schools and empower women and adolescent girls to participate fully in community life. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, together we can make a lasting difference in these communities. Together we can bring meaningful change and create a brighter and healthier future for the people of Oti and Western and Upper West regions. Mr. Chairman, honorable members from the district, on this note, I hereby declare the Upper Dev Phase 2 project duly launched. Thank you very much.
Please, let's do it until he resumes his seat. Thank you very much, Acting Country Director. At this moment, the IPADEV Project Phase 2 has been officially launched, and we are all going to hit the ground now. The paperworks were being done before this meeting. Now the field work is about to commence, and we have been given the green light from now to go and get the successes that we are looking forward to. Ladies and gentlemen, please, with a round of applause, let's appreciate all partners, especially the German team that has been a strong support system for the IPADEV project Phase 2. Thank you so much. Please extend our appreciation to the back end in Germany for all that you are doing for us. And I want us to appreciate all the leadership of Plan International Ghana. Please, I want us to give them a round of applause. If they don't send the proposals, if they don't send the push to Germany, we are not going to get the project to impact the lives of the Ghanaians, the very Ghanaians that we are working for. And another round of applause to yourselves for being part of this IPADEV project Phase 1, Phase 2, and after 2028, Phase 3. It is possible. I'm sure Chair is smiling. I can see him smiling, and I'm sure it's because of the time that we have saved. Chair is smiling. Chair, true or false? Very true, yes. And I'm sure it is the desire and the joy of everyone that when you have meetings, you don't prolong the meetings too much, so that you can get other things done. The objectives for this day have been achieved, and I am sure that we have a story to tell at the back, that our chair was Honorable Jasso. He chaired today's meeting. We had the DCE for Guan and the DCE for Wa East present, who also gave their support that indeed Plan can come into their communities and ensure that the projects are well implemented. Thank you very much. At this point, I'm sure Honorable Chair has collated all his remarks, and it's time for him to give us his closing remarks. Honorable Chair, over to you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, all too soon, phase 2 is hereby launched. Congratulations to us. We're all part of the story. We are part of history. History has been initiated today, and we're lucky that we are part of this history. Let's clap hands for ourselves. You have been an excellent audience. You cooperated with us, and SC in particular, and then we navigated the program. We are at the end. Acting Country Director climaxed it. All of you were excellent at your various contributions. I would not go through everything, just to highlight that it's exciting that this project is targeting 14,766 people. That's a huge number of people. If we can amplify the impact of these people and the knock-on effect, it means we are going to have about 50,000 people impacted by this project. I'm very confident that this is just a very measured estimate that the project leaders have held. Our friends from Germany, we can't thank you enough. You look very beautiful in your Ghanaian outfits. I think in summer you have to, we'll get you a lot more of those so that when you go back home, you'll be able. Then there's something we need to add, which is the fugu. Yes, which is the fugu. I have one in my car, so Williams, make sure we donate that to Farhan. Yes. Yes. Now, water is life. Plan International, you've been excellent at it. You've been consistent. I never knew I was coming to be a politician. I had traveled the Sisala belt in the Upper West region, and everything you see as an intervention worth mentioning as community development has had the plan. In fact, it was very plan. So we got to know plan way days, years back. So your impact has been immeasurable. And I'm very excited that you've continued it. You've demonstrated it with the objectives for this program. You are going to improve on access and utilization of safe drinking water. You are going to improve access and usage of wash facilities. There are existing facilities. I'm very confident that with this project and the new ideas and new energy that it brings, we as authorities, particularly local government authorities, will find ways of reactivating even the rundown facilities in the various institutions and communities. You are looking at improving livelihoods. So this is a whole package. This is a comprehensive thing. We have incidents of poverty and its indicators spread across our villages and our communities. And so the VSLA approach has proven to be very effective. It shows commitment, it shows sacrifice, and it shows de-risking of people's investments. As they save, they learn the art of saving. And so even that transfer of knowledge, transfer of technology, utilization of their existing knowledge is something that is commendable, and these can always be harnessed for community development. For me as Member of Parliament, I've always, in fact, I'm technically part of all the VSLA groups in my constituency, and any of them that I visit, they calculate my arrears for me, and then I pay my dues. So I've been paying dues to all of them. And so this is something that I particularly take interest in, and I think that it has long-lasting impact on the contributors. Menstrual hygiene. I started my opening remarks with menstrual hygiene and the challenges we've had. I see, I think the mics don't like you. When I called your name and told them I was excited, it went off. But I'm excited because we are talking about reusable parts. And I think that's something we haven't heard much about. I urge you to amplify the information around it. There's a 40-member women caucus in Parliament. I'll put you in touch with them. They are your voice. They are your entry, not necessarily the committee. The committee has just 2 or 3 women, right? Yes. So let's use the 40 women as your ambassadors, and they will get the job done for you. So that if we can have this and replicate it at the school level through this project intervention in a very deliberate and conscious way, I'm confident that we'll be able to have the kind of impact that we so desire. Your project selection committees, my namesake Godfrey tells me, has been very representative of his place. He just wished he had more. I told him in that case you have to do more. But Fred, country director, the YE situation, I have a special request for you. We'll have to find a way of meeting each other halfway. I, as MP, I commit to drilling some boreholes to support. The DC already told me that he's drilled 2 boreholes already in 2 of your project communities. And so it means we can work together to see how these 4 boreholes that we have drilled, in fact 2 have been drilled, 2 are yet to be drilled. 2 will be my contribution as Member of Parliament. But in the selection of the 7 communities that you have, the community dynamics we have in our place are such that if some 3 or 4 are left out, it will draw the whole project success backward. And so we have to think together to see how we can find a way of collaborating to see how they can be carried along, even if not the full rollout of the package, but somehow how we can support for them to be carried along. Saobe is just 12 kilometers from Tinebe. Tinebe is relatively more open, and Saobe is actually the most vulnerable. That really needed your selection. Kulu needs your selection out as well. It's about 10 kilometers from Yala number 1. And that alone, just next to Kulum, which is also about 7 kilometers, is a conflict-infested Yanyoiri. Peace has returned. Calm is there now. They burnt their own school building. So the kids have no school to attend now. We've just put together an emergency proposal to get funds. They've given me indication they will provide a school building. So we are hoping that we'll be able to get the school building to them. But it means that we need deliberate efforts to get them back. Otherwise, we'll leave the children behind. And that's not good enough. The other one is a community that I describe as His Excellency President Mohammed's community, which is Halimboy. Anytime he comes to my constituency, these people will stop him and tell him they need a road, they need lights, they need water. He's ordered now that they connect electricity to them. So I just wished, and it's about 20 kilometers from Fonsi, the capital. Now, if these are covered, then the whole vulnerable part, the most vulnerable part of our constituency will have been taken care of. Godfrey whispers 2 communities to me, but I told him to tell the project country director himself. Otherwise, his MP Fred Agbenyo will not allow me. He will say I advocated for additional communities for me and then allowed his own. So I respectfully submit this for your kind consideration, and I'm prepared for us to meet each other halfway, support in whichever way we can, so that the project cost is not unduly taking off your plan. That said, and with anticipation that my message is well received, it's a high point that I don't have to add any other thing. I just wish to urge that the Farhan's presentation was so critical. Finance-based financing expectation by our donors. It means that Our management of this current project will not be business as usual, particularly our stakeholders, our NGO partners, and so on. It means that we have to rise up to the new call and new expectations. This is the only way we can guarantee that we'll have a phase 3. And so I want to add my voice and urge you to sit up, wake up to it. Let's make sure that we comply with the new accounting arrangements and expectations, and make sure that our donors do not become, they've already indicated that Plan Ghana is their favorite Plan Ghana. And so let's continue to occupy that enviable position. You have to be clear with your outputs. As for additional communities, Farhan and Johanna has already heard the additional communities, so the outputs will be very clear and they will send a message back. So country director, you don't have anything to worry. You just have to add 4 so that we'll have 20 communities for this phase of the project. That said, I'd like to thank everyone for coming. We are grateful with your contributions and input to the success of this launch. We are confident that this project will be different from the rest. This project will have the impact that we so desire. We are happy that we have a new acting country director, and I promise you will make you proud. And so these communities, I'm sure, once you've entered Wais, you won't go out. Once you've entered Guan, you won't go out again. And so let's hope that we can amplify, migrate people from just moving them from the under the poverty line to the, but moving them to progressive levels. So we can co-create some other interventions that will build on the achievements of this phase 3. And then I'm confident that way the impact will be higher and more desirable, so that our donors can also see that they've witnessed true transformation in these communities that we are working in. But again, thank you very much, Plan Ghana, for all your efforts. We are so grateful. We look forward to this one to succeeding. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Honorable Godfred Seidu Jasso. We are pledging that we are not going to treat this project as business as usual. In our attitude, in our deliverables, we are going to make the impact that the project expects of us, and we are going to impact the very lives that this project is intended for. Thank you very much for chairing this occasion. It is an honor. And just to let you know that the reusable menstrual pads standards were heavily supported by Plan International Ghana and some other partners. So we are going to definitely take the discussions from this level to another level with you. It will be good to get us connected with the 40-member committee in Parliament for us to be able to see how do we scale up the outcomes that the meeting would bring. Ghana has embraced reusable pads, and Ghana Standards Authority has certified the reusable pads for us to be able to use those standards to help us in their production and the usage. Thank you very much, Honorable. All too soon, as Honorable said, we have saved a beautiful 1 hour of our time, even though we've been able to achieve all the objectives of this meeting. And it is time for us to take the vote of thanks from Madam Esinam Ahiadome. She is a gender specialist for Plan International Ghana. A round of applause as she walks to the podium.
Honorable Chair, MP for Y East, Acting Country Director, and the members of the country leadership team, Honorable District Chief Executives from Guan and Y East, our colleagues from Germany, our development and government partners, our friends from the media, distinguished guests, colleagues, plan staff, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. On behalf of Plan International Ghana and the entire IPADEF team, it is my honor and privilege to deliver the vote of thanks at this official launch of the IPADEF Phase 2 project. Today marks not just the beginning of a new project phase, but a renewed commitment to safeguarding the health, dignity, and learning outcomes of every child through integrated WASH programming, that is water, sanitation, hygiene interventions that are sustainable, inclusive, and resilient. First, we thank the Almighty God for granting us the opportunity to gather here once again, have a safe, and for guiding us this significant milestone. We extend our deepest appreciation to our partners, colleagues from Germany, and the donor, whose financial and technical support have made this initiative possible. Your belief in our shared vision of creating protective and child-friendly environment continues to inspire hope in the communities that we serve. To our government representatives and local authorities, we thank you for leadership, policy direction, and collaboration. Your commitment to strengthening systems and supporting community-based interventions ensure that these projects align with national development priorities and achieve long-term impacts. To our implementing partners, community leaders, school authorities, health and environmental workers, we are deeply grateful for your dedication and tireless efforts. You are the bridge between strategy and real change that is transforming plans into tangible improvements in the lives of children and families. We acknowledge the invaluable contributions of our technical teams, volunteers, and the entire IPADEF staff, whose hard work behind the scenes have brought us to this day. Most importantly, we thank the communities and children that we serve who are not here. Your resilience motivates us. Your well-being is our purpose. Your future is our responsibility. As we launch Phase 2, let us reaffirm our collective commitment to ensuring that every school and community becomes safe, healthy, and enabling environment where children can learn, grow, and thrive. Together, through partnership, innovation, and accountability, we can build resilient systems that protect children not only today, but the generations to come. On behalf of the IPADEF team, I once again say thank you to everyone who has contributed to making this launch a success. May this phase bring lasting impact and measurable transformation. Once again, thank you and God bless you all.
Thank you and God bless you too for the vote of thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the very end of our program and we are going to take the closing prayer. It's more like a for Johan and for Farhan. It's more like a tradition for Ghana that usually when we have the Christian prayer, the Islamic prayer, the Muslim prayer ends the meeting. If it's the other way around, then we have the other one ending it for us. We had the Christian prayer in the morning. We are going to take the Muslim prayer or the Islamic prayer this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Mr. Abubakar Adamu to give us the closing prayer for this meeting. Anywhere. I can actually give you the microphone if you wish to stand there.
All right. Thank you so much. So I'm told to just do the closing prayer. But I just have one remark to do before the closing prayer. And that remark is, I came and saw a lot of people were eating. But we are also in a fasting season. But you are all forgiven. But thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you so much for the opportunity and for being here. And thanks for what Islam did, thanking everybody for the program, as well for the donors and the partners for all that we have done. What I have seen through a lot of this process, i.e. in terms of the project implementation, when it comes to water sanitation. Early days, we saw Fast and Face, and Eric is here. Fast and Face, we came and saw CLTS, and we came and saw all the interventions being promoted by iWash, then RWash, then IPADEV 2. Then we are seeking for an IPADEV 3. My prayer here is to get 2028 an IPADEV 3. That will take us to 2030. Bismillah, in the name of Allah, most gracious, most full. We are all in the fasting mood. A'udhu billahi minash shaitan rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Arrahmanir rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alaihim ghayril maghdubi alaihim waladdallin. Amen. May Allah accept our prayers. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Adamu. Ladies and gentlemen, we have officially ended today's launch. And you heard from Farhan and Joanna that one of their key outputs or expectations is reports, stories, photos. So we are going to take photos. If you're not in this photo, it means you were not at the launch. So please, the media team, kindly set us up. We are going to go in a particular order. We will have the MPs table and the country leadership table, team taking the very first photograph. And then they'll be joined by the DCs present.